Welcome back to the Python tutorial series. I'm so glad you're here. This is the 47th video in this series, and today we will use web scraping and BeautifulSoup in Python to get the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So let's get started. I created a file called API BeautifulSoup.py and imported requests and imported BeautifulSoup from the BS4 library. We're then going to get a URL of the website to check the Dow Jones Industrial stock price, and then we'll web scrape that. So here's the URL up above, and then paste it here in Visual Studio Code. Then I'm going to create a new variable called response and set it equal to request.getTheURL. Then I'll create a variable called soup and set that equal to BeautifulSoup. And I'm going to want the text, so response.text, and then I'm going to want to parse this, so I'll do html.parser. Then I'm going to want to web scrape the price, so I'll create a new variable called price and set that equal to soup.find, and then I want to find the specific price. So then when I go back to Yahoo Finance, I'll right click and inspect element, and then when I do this, I see it says span, then I see this long class. So I'm going to copy the class, and then when I go back to Visual Studio Code, I'm going to say span because it said span. Then it also had a class. So I'm going to do class, then I'm going to pass in the class that I found. Then at the end, I'll do dot text because I want to get the text from it. Then I can finally print the price and see the current Dow Jones is 34,239.57. I want this to run repeatedly, so what I'm going to do is from time import sleep. So this will allow it to sleep for a second and to run every second. So in order to do that, I'll need to create a function, and I'll create a function called stock price with no parameters. Then I'll put everything in it, and I won't print the price, but I will return the price. And if you replace the URL with another index or another stock, it will work for that as well. Now, outside of that, I'm going to set price equal to stock price, and then I'm going to print the Dow Jones Industrial Average is whatever the price is, and it's 34,211.09. And I want this to run repeatedly every single second. So I'm going to create a while statement and say while true, and then set new price equal to stock price. And if new price does not equal the current price, we're going to set price equal to stock price, and then we're going to print the Dow Jones Industrial Average is whatever it is. Then after that, we're going to sleep for a second because we only want to run it every single second. Now when I run it, it works and it will update every time there's a new price. And as you see, it changed from 34,208.9 to 209.3, etc. And it's constantly changing. However, if we just wanted to print it on the same line, we could do that by doing a carriage return. So at the end of this line, instead of doing a new line, we can do end and set that equal to nothing, so white space. And then at the beginning of this, we can do \r, which is a carriage return. And then after this, we can do comma, and then do end equals white space again. And now when we run this, we see the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and this price here will update and it won't go on a new line. And as you see here, the stock price is updating and it's remaining on the same line. And that's how web scraping stock prices work. And the URL works for any stock on Yahoo Finance. So I'll paste in the NASDAQ, and this will say what the NASDAQ is, and now when I run it, it says it's 13,470.99, and it works. So that's web scraping in Python. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow along with this video series by subscribing and hitting the notification bell, or by clicking on the next video so that you can expand your knowledge about Python. And as always, I can't wait to see you next time.